I think this is the first stinging nettle I've come across in my life. Just here in upper Fifth Water Creek. And I sure knew it when I touched it. Instant stinging. But I guess this stuff is supposed to be edible if you cook it thoroughly. I'm not going to try that because I can't positively identify it right now. But I will once I get back. See, there's the trail right there. In fact, there's the confluence sign where the trail split and my camp over there. So it's just right here, pretty close to camp. Stinging nettle, or Urtica dioica. The Urtica genus contains 40 different species and subspecies, native to many places on Earth, including Australia, Mongolia, Africa, Hawaii, Baja California, pretty much everywhere. But the common nettle, Urtica dioica, was originally only native to Europe, Asia, and North Africa. It's now found its way into every temperate part of the world, including Fifth Water Creek in Utah, where I found it. Tiny hairs called trichomes or spicules act like hypodermic needles. They cause irritation to a small degree by piercing and scratching the skin, but the real cause of them being called stinging nettle is that the trichomes contain histamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, tartaric acid, formic acid, and oxalic acid. All of these act together to give your cells a very bad day. Once a victim like myself is impaled, they'll develop contact urticaria, basically meaning a burning sensation of the skin. I must be particularly susceptible to its effects because my finger barely brushed it and it felt like a 70% strength bee sting. The joint became swollen and stayed numb and irritated all the way until I went to bed, almost 7 hours later. I couldn't imagine being this guy. Most people's symptoms go away after 20 minutes. In the morning, my finger felt completely normal. Treatment can be any antihistamine cream or hydrocortisone cream that will help relieve the effects. Drugs taken orally that can also help are anything that you would use to treat allergies, including Allegra, Claritin, Zyrtec, and Benadryl. Over-the-counter pain relievers can also help, although most of the irritation will come from the swelling and itchiness. So direct creams to where contact was made is the most helpful. If you don't have anything available, soaking the area in cold water and blowing air over it can create a distracting and cooling sensation, which can provide a small amount of relief as well as reduce swelling. Stinging nettle is edible. The leaves, stems, and roots are all edible, but the leaves aren't as woody and tough. Before eating, the trichomes must be destroyed first. You can cook it in hot water called blanching, and this will remove the irritating chemicals. If the plant has already gone into or past its flowering stage, the leaves also contain cystoliths, which are gritty and can irritate the urinary tract. For this reason, eating nettles is best done in the spring or early summer. Once the leaves are blanched, they can be made into a tea, a soup, a puree, or even dried and ground into flour. Compared to many other edible leafy greens, stinging nettle has a fair amount of protein and many health-promoting compounds. Another use for nettle is to do like some indigenous cultures do in Ecuador, where they strip a criminal naked and whip them with nettles while blasting them with cold water. The plant itself can grow 2 to 5 feet tall. Even though it has a single stalk, it is often found together in bunches because it will put out rhizomes, or horizontal shoots which sprout into other stalks. Their leaves come in opposite pairs and are sharply toothed. The end of the leaves come to a steep point. The stalks and leaves will appear hairy. Not all hairs are trichomes, but they are distributed throughout, so at our scale it doesn't make a difference sorting them out. There are some lookalikes in North America to the common nettle. Many are edible themselves, but some don't taste very good, and the one that is actually poisonous looks pretty different if you ask me. The lookalikes that are edible include white dead nettle, wood nettle, horehound, and spearmint. Lookalikes that aren't poisonous but might taste awful are false nettle, richweed, hemp nettle, northern bungleweed, and clearweed. One plant that is considered a lookalike that I don't think looks very similar is white snakeroot. It is poisonous, although it does have multiple stalks, making it look much different. If the plant you're looking at has sharp teeth on the leaves and stalk are hairy, the leaves are opposite one another, and the leaves have one central leaf vein with the other veins sprouting from it, and it causes a sting when you touch the hairs on the leaves or stalk, you can feel safe you found stinging nettle, and it is totally edible once cooked. This is Derek reminding you, you're working too hard. See you next time.